This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Hello again, hockey fans. Are you ready to brave the wild? With me, your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Brave the Wild is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps. I thank each and every one of you once and always for downloading and listening to the show. It is a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today. Hope everyone had a very happy Halloween, despite the rain and snow and all that kind of stuff, maybe depending on what neck of the woods you're in. What took place could have been a repeat of the 91 blizzard or whatever, but yeah, up here in the Twin Cities and such. But apologize for the odd release of the show, but of course, again, I'm not in the Thursday routine yet due to the, finishing up the lawn season and now, the lawn service season. That's the second job. And also, of course, the fall cleanup season, which is just getting started pretty much. But the really odd release of Friday morning instead of, say, sometime during the day Thursday, because I wanted to be able to get the Raycon ad into this episode. So just kind of getting that going. But as I'm trying to say, Brave the Wild is on. Brave the Wild is a part of the Hockey Podcast Network. I'm very proud to be a part of that, and thank Dylan and Kyle so much for having me on board there. And of course, it is on all of your favorite podcasting apps. So yes, the Hockey Podcast Network, that's where we get Raycon, DraftKings, and Game Time. Also, welcome aboard, Game Time. So you're going to hear from all three of those today. So kind of a catch-up show. I'm not going to go into heavy details into games. I'm just not. It's going to mostly be kind of talking about certain good things and not so good things that have been taking place. But definitely a great start by the Minnesota Wild to this season. You can't really discount that. 6-1-2 is pretty damn impressive. And the fact the Wild didn't even trail in regulation until the Philadelphia game. That's insane. Absolutely nuts. And, of course, they wind up losing. Actually, it was the Tampa game. The Wild actually trailed for a minute, but then came back and won. And then ultimately the Philadelphia game was our first regulation loss of the season. A couple of annoying losses early on in the year. Losing to Seattle was extremely annoying. And Winnipeg, well, they're off to an insane start. Like, you think the Wild are off to a good start. Winnipeg is tearing up the league, but the Wild still also pretty damn good to start off the year. 3-2 win over Columbus and Dean Evason. Not the most impressive game. In fact, I thought it was kind of boring. Seattle was sloppy. Winnipeg was definitely another boring game, I'd have to say. St. Louis, a nice, easy 4-1 win on the 15th of October. Another 3-1 win in Columbus over Dean Evason. So the Wild sweep Columbus and Dean Evason so far, which is kind of funny and unexpected in a lot of ways. Seems like ex-Wild coaches always beat the Minnesota Wild, including Todd frickin' Richards in the past when he went to Columbus a few years after he was let go by Minnesota. I don't know. God bless Todd Richards. Where's he from? Like Crystal. And he was on the Gophers and everything. Crystal, Minnesota, which is literally like blocks from where I live. I live in Golden Valley, but I'm very close to Crystal. So for those of you maybe curious, I know you probably nobody cares, but it's Minnesota, yes. But where am I? Yes, Columbus Blue Jackets. It's like they weren't particularly entertaining games. And then you had the 5-1 shellacking of the Florida Panthers. We did this last year, though, so don't get too excited necessarily. Like, we beat Florida. Wow, they were the Eastern Conference champions at the time, defending Eastern Conference champions. Wow, we shut out Florida. I remember, what was it, like 3 or 5-0 last year, something like that, 4-0. Easy win, just crushed Florida. And then, what happened after that? The Wild sucked. It was a terrible start to the season, and Dean Everson got fired. Then things gradually got better and better under Coach John Hines, but not enough to get to the postseason. And the Wild, wallowed in mediocrity like we've been doing way too much. And there was even a kind of a little side shot, but nothing malicious, of course, by the Fireside podcast. I'm sure they don't listen to this show anyway, but it was kind of funny how they they said something like about the Calgary Flames, which was accurate, and I like the Flames too. But they said, yeah, it's kind of like we exist. Like it's kind of like we're at a point where we're like the Minnesota Wild. We exist. Woohoo! Like you're just kind of stuck in the middle. You're not good. You're not bad, but you're just you just exist. Yay. Maybe it's slightly below average, and it's like, it's freaking frustrating. I'm almost dropping F-bombs here in between frick and that other word. But, the other word was probably heard quite a bit by Wild fans in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia game, they're off to an awful start to the season. 7-5? What the hell is that garbage? It was just like, okay, Philadelphia's up 2-0 before we could even, blink. Because, we finally trailed in regulation ice, other than just the final score in a shootout or in overtime period versus Seattle or Winnipeg. An incredible run at second all-time to the Boston Bruins many years ago, who won the Stanley Cup over the St. Louis Blues way back in the day, 1970. But no, we actually trailed 2-1 versus Tampa, but came back and beat them. So it was a Florida sweep, which doesn't happen very often. Usually we're going to lose one of those two. Because Florida and Tampa are both competitive. And it's funny how back in the day when Florida, not that long ago, when Florida was awful or below average, whatever, they existed, and Tampa was winning the cup, we would beat Tampa 2-0 and then get beat 5-1 or something, 4-1 by Florida. It was weird. Now, we're beating Florida 5-1-ish when they're one of the best teams on the planet, defending champions and all that cute stuff. Okay, we beat Tampa this time, but I remember last year we struggled versus Tampa when they were kind of wallowing in mediocrity a little bit. But yeah, the 7-5, the Pennsylvania two-step, but of course 2 days in between, 2 days off from last Saturday to this recent Tuesday, the Fleury, the Fleury retirement tour continuing, a 5-3 win for Minnesota, and I guess it was his last time in Pittsburgh. But you know how things go. People just seem to always keep coming back. It's like he's kind of like a Matt Cullen almost, but from, he played with Pittsburgh. He's not from there. Played a big chunk of his career in Pittsburgh. One thing that kept getting put out there, and obviously a lot of us that, a lot of us that like to play devil's advocate at times, not for show, but just for dough, if you know what I mean. It's a fact. It's not about being a devil's advocate and being an annoying person or trying to make material. And they're he's got 3 Stanley Cups. He won 3 cups there in Pittsburgh. Yeah, he did. 2 of them were as a backup, though, in the playoffs. Did I say that? Yes, 2 of them were as a backup to Murray being in net. So it's just a fact, Matt Murray. So it's a fact. I'm sorry. Obviously, 2009 was a well-earned one. But during the playoff run in 2016, he was benched, him being Fleury, for Matt Murray. Not that Fleury was terrible, but it's ironic how the game he came in, they lost. It was too bad. And I felt for him because I felt for him. I wanted Fleury to win that game. Because I can understand the insane frustration. You're one of the best, but then, it's just, you just have this terrible luck in the playoffs for whatever reason. And that kind of was the case. Unfortunately, the same thing kind of happened to Fleury with Vegas. They'd go on the great run, he'd be great, but then when they get to the end, it just wouldn't be the same. And Washington kind of rolled all over the Vegas Golden Knights and ended their miracle run in their inaugural season, something that's completely unheard of in professional sports, unless it's an inaugural season for everybody, like the, PWHL, the Minnesota Frost, the greatest name in sports history, Minnesota Frost. It's amazing. So, yes, that's kind of like the catch-up, you could say. Again, not going into detail, because I'm not, but individual players and such, the Fleury retirement tour, yep, I brought that up in the Twitter. I put a poll in there. So instead of sending out a bat signal, because I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to do a show or not, just because of scheduling and stuff, but I just knew, obviously, the weather was going to suck on Halloween. So it's odds are I would get a chance to record a show or part of a show to work on and finish it and get it done by Friday to get out the to get the Raycon ad included in the show because it starts in November, not in October. Yeah, figured I'd put out at least a poll to generate something, and of course there were conversations back and forth, myself and Derek, and I believe some others out there, conversations. So there's enough fan interaction, and again, it's like there was no guarantee I was going to do a show. Obviously, it depends on vibe, this and that. Like, do I have time? Am I going to be able to do with something else going on? But enough of that. So to look at the individual players, and of course, second segment, instead of previews, why am I going to preview games when I don't know when I'm coming back for the next episode? It's called Rainy Days and Sundays, or Rainy Days and Saturdays, or whatever. Not nighttime, if anything, because Sunday's often dominated by Purple Mafia at the end of the day when it comes to this time of the year. Like in the spring, it'd be Rainy Days and Sundays. So, yes, Kirill Kaprizov is off to a better than Connor McDavid start to the season. He's 2 points a game. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The passing is just off the charts. The goal scoring is what it is. It's wonderful. He's got 5 goals in 9 games, him being Kirill the Thrill being for real. But 13 assists, and we're talking assists like, been compared to maybe the best passer in NHL history, Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, no-look passes, wraparounds like Ricky Rubio, like in the NBA when he, is actually a good player. Excuse me, I said that out loud. Yeah, when he actually was good, not just a mediocre backup point guard, but mediocre spot starter. Kaprizov looks off the charts. Yes, he's pretty much, he's due for extension talk. That is looming. It is what it is. He's going to make double-digit millions a year. The $9 million is great and everything and all of that, but we're talking more like 13, 14 range. Maybe Connor McDavid and Draisaitl level. Well, he's playing like Connor McDavid and Draisaitl, so that's kind of where we're at. He's projected for, what was the math, 164, right? So he's projected for 164 points. Not sure that's going to happen, but could you imagine if it did? It'd be 46 goals and 118 assists. Sick. And, of course, hopefully playing every damn game to get there. Matt Boldy off to an amazing start as well. He's off to a pace of about 100 points. Could he possibly be a 100-point guy? I even brought that up on the Crease Assist podcast. That was one of my questions. Could Boldy truly be on his way to a 100-point season? It'd be great. Or just 100 points like, at some point. Is he going to have a 100-point season? Is he that good? When I heard in the past Michael Russo saying that Boldy's an absolute star, I get this little tug in my throat. Really? Absolute star? What's telling you that? Yes, potential, yes. Maybe all-star game, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all-star games, but an absolute star? Kirill Kaprizov, yes. Boldy? Well, I don't know, but so far he has been an absolute star. 36 goals, 64 assists is his projection if he plays all 82 games with 11 points in 9 games. 100-point projection for Matt Boldy. So, amazing. Obviously, a lot of this stuff, it's the sample size is getting bigger. That's the impressive part. And Jake Middleton actually had a ton of points last year. He's got 7 in 9 games. So, I don't know, maybe he is earning his contract. He's the leading scoring defenseman, which I bet nobody on the planet thought would happen. What's Jake Middleton on pace for? Jeez, he's on pace for 64 points. No, that's not going to happen, but I don't know, if he gets like 40, that'd be pretty damn impressive. So it would make me hate that contract a little bit less. Remember, I put the soundbite of Michael Russo saying, like, what the, yeah, I forget what he was talking about on their show. Something frustrating happened, and he put that out there. Then that was kind of my response when I saw the Jake Middleton contract extension. Not the fact that he was signed, but the amount. I was like, wow, the amount combined with, I was like, really? So, okay. Marco Rossi, yep, he's due for an extension at some point, very soon, I got to think. 8 points in 9 games. He's on pace for a 70 to 80 point type of season. He definitely looks like a different player, and he's already talking like one of the leaders of the team, which a lot of us kind of saw happening at some point. But then it was like, when he had trouble scoring at the NHL level, it was like, okay. And then kind of that, nonchalant, maybe like, yeah, sure, I lead the Iowa Wild in scoring. But maybe it was more his frustration of like, somebody at work, maybe they're really good at a certain position, but they're sick of being stuck there. You know what I mean? Some of us can relate to that. Hello? Yeah, oh, you're so good at this. And it's like, yeah, great. I don't care. I want to be on it. I want to move up. Exactly. I don't care. I want to move up. And that was probably what he was thinking. It's a competitiveness, damn it. But 73-point projection for Marco Rossi of Austria. 27 goals, 46 assists as a projection. He definitely looks like a different player than even last year, and that's extremely exciting. Where Rossi looked like a decent player last year, 40, 50-point range, 60-ish possibly peaking, but he might go beyond that, and very exciting for a lot of us. Drew Eriksson-Ek also, again, looks wonderful.
Hi, I'm Cyndi Lauper. My scalp was covered with psoriasis, which could lead to psoriatic arthritis, but Cosentyx treats both.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis 300 milligram dose and adults with active psoriatic arthritis 150 milligram dose. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for TB. Serious allergic reactions, severe skin reactions that look like eczema, and an increased risk of infections, some fatal, have occurred. Cosentyx may lower ability to fight infections, so tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if IBD symptoms develop or worsen. Learn more at Cosentyx.com or 1-844-COSENTYX.
Cosentyx works for me.
Ask your doctor about Cosentyx.
I won't let my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis symptoms define me.
Emerge as you. In 2 clinical studies, Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, provided 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks in 7 out of 10 adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. In a study, nearly 7 out of 10 patients with 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks were still clearer at 5 years. At 1 year and thereafter, patients and healthcare providers knew that Tremfya was being used. This may have increased results. Results may vary.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms of infection, including fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough. Tell your doctor if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Emerge as you. Learn more about Tremfya, including important safety information, at tremfya.com or call 1-877-578-3527. See our ad in Food and Wine magazine. For patients prescribed Tremfya, cost support may be available.
Your dining room is the heart of your home, where meals are shared and memories are made. At Ashley, you'll find affordable dining furniture in a range of classic and modern styles. Ashley small space sets and extendable tables are designed to fit beautifully into any space, from cozy breakfast nooks and kitchens to formal dining areas fit for a feast. And with mix-and-match seating options, everyone at your table gets the perfect seat. At Ashley, style is served. Shop in-store or online today.
We've seen the lines and such, but he's been on generally what they call the second line, but the other top line in a lot of ways. There's been some shuffling. Unfortunately, was hit in the face. Some people say it was intentional. Others say it was whoops. It was kind of like a reaction. It wasn't really intentional. And I don't know. Hockey's one of those games where things happen. I don't know. I just, you don't want to believe that it was intentional. But maybe. I don't know. Some of you are probably like, yeah, it was, Joey. Come on, get your head out of somewhere. But we'll see. Matt Zuccarello also off to a great start. You have the top line of Rossi, Kaprizov, and Zuccarello, and there's debate is Rossi going to be our top line center? Is he the guy? Cool. Drew Eriksson-Ek, Matt Boldy, and Marcus Johansson, Jojo, if they want to call him that. Yeah, Marcus Johansson. Anyhow, the third line of Gaudreau, Frederic Gaudreau, Marcus Foligno, and Yakov Trenin. So Frederic Gaudreau is back on the third line, with guys kind of moving around. Merat Huznadinov is centering the fourth line with Jacob Locko, who's been a nice surprise kind of out of nowhere in that Boston trade with Vinny Letteri. You got to get me out of here. I can't be sitting on that fourth line. I can't be stuck in between the NHL and the AHL. I got to go to Boston. You got to get me out of here, or I'm gonna have to take some action. Okay, anyhow. Liam Ogren on the right wing in the fourth line. So unfortunately, Liam Ogren, after that great start last year, zilch so far in 7 games. So, but I'm sure, again, the opportunities are not there as much, only 9 minutes a game. It's the fourth line. Huznadinov has 2 assists on the year in 9 games. Pardon me, Jakub Lauko from Czech 3 points, 2 goals, and an assist. Gaudreau had nothing pretty much going on until 2 goals in Pittsburgh the other day. Marcus Johansson, huge start to the season. Didn't he score like the first goal of the year or something? Well, he still got 1 goal, 2 assists. So if Liam Ogren can show some signs, yeah, you gotta knock him down. Come on, Ogren, let's go. Come on, Ogren. Come on. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not happening. And I don't know, it's kind of a catch-22. You're stuck on the 4th line, where the opportunity is going to come, and then when the opportunities don't come, you don't produce as much, and when you don't produce as much, you don't knock Marcus Johansson from the top line to the 4th or whatever, or 3rd or whatever the reshuffling is going to be. But, damn, you want to see Liam Ogren in that spot up there where Johansson is. So, yeah, his career can head in the right direction. But at least he's getting out there. But, yeah, that 4th line nonsense, I don't know. Some stuff is too old school. Some stuff is, sometimes it is what it is. Sometimes it's too old school. Sometimes this and that. I'm generally an old school thinker on a lot of things, but I don't know. Rotting on the 4th line isn't necessarily going to get a young player headed in the right direction, I don't think. Unless that's the kind of player they are, like a Jakub Lauko, bottom 6 at the very least could be promoted to the 3rd line, which, more opportunities and such, even like shorthanded goals, this and that. Yes, those are your lines. Your defensive pairings: Jonas Brodin, Jared Spurgeon. Okay. Faber's been paired with Middleton lately, and it's been insanely productive. I'd say that is the most productive of all of them. Though Brodin does have 5 assists. John Merrill, Zach Bogosian, yay. At least Merrill is not in a position where it's like, oh, what the devil's going on there? Yeah, what the devil? The power play is exciting. I'd have to say it's one of the better ones. Joel Eriksson-Ek, Matt Zuccarello, Matt Boldy, Brock Faber, and Kirill the Thrill Kaprizov. Second power play unit: Marco Rossi, Marcus Joe. Yeah. Well, at least Liam Ogren's on there as well. Frederick Gaudreau, Jared Spurgeon, and Liam Ogren. Well, I like Rossi and Liam Ogren. Okay. Spurgeon, I guess he's in his second power play unit, but yeah, because the other guy isn't here yet. So Leo Buyan isn't here yet, so I guess not. Power play unit, first one is Joel Eriksson-Ek, Frederick Gaudreau. Okay, yeah, sure. Jared Spurgeon, fine. And Brodin, yeah. Second penalty kill unit, Marat Huznitinov, Lauko, Middleton, and Faber. And then you've had all kinds of issues with Marc. Well, yeah. Well, you've had injuries and such. We'll get back to that. Marc Andre Fleury didn't get off to a great start. Gustafsson was off to a spectacular start, but got shelled recently against the Philadelphia Flyers. So that was extremely frustrating for Philip Gustafsson, bringing his goals against average a little bit up there from where it was. It was, hovering in the 1s. Now it's not quite there anymore. Though I'm not seeing a damn thing at the moment, so my apologies. But yes, the frustrations obviously at times mounting in that Philadelphia game for so many reasons. There we go. Things are actually starting to cooperate a little bit. Yeah, goals against average still fine, but it's over 217. Save percentage of 922. But there's this and there's that. Other topic that I wanted to get into, so I talked about Kirill Kaprizov and Boldy, and both off to triple-digit starts on the projections for scoring, and it's extremely exciting for every Minnesota Wild fan in town. Boldy already has been extended. Kaprizov, we'll see. He got his short but expensive extension a few years ago, right after he got to the NHL. Thank you very much. That's just how it goes, because he's not a young guy like Boldy. And then, now we're waiting for the next big one. Kirill Kaprizov's English is right where it is right there, which is awesome. He can just do an interview now on the fly without translators or feeling uncomfortable or anything. And I got to think that's part of the reason. The confidence is there. Also, hey, it's a contract type of situation, but also, again, a big player jumping into its prime. It's prime Kaprizov time, and it's very exciting. Where Boldy's not even in his prime, and he's going to be chasing that 80-90 point range to 100 if possible, and pretty exciting to say the least. We're not going to look at contracts today. I know I get into that a lot because I like to at times. I'm not going to bitch and moan about this and that, except maybe Jared Spurgeon's contract, which is never going to I'm never going to feel good about that one ever again. In fact, I even had that tuck in my throat when I saw what it was at the time. It's like, that's a lot. That's going to take him till he's like, how old again? Like 38? That's kind of high. Yeah, Spurgeon. Jared Spurgeon. Yep, the ongoing frustration with Jared Spurgeon. 3 games, 1 assist. Notice 3 games because, well, another injury, and they didn't even discuss what it was a whole lot. You didn't really hear about it much. It's like a big secret, but obviously related probably to previous things. I don't know, or is it back related? Pardon me. But yeah, I mean, it's all kind of it's all kind of relative with Jared Spurgeon. He's hurt. He's hurt. That's all you got to know. I mean, his body, it's an injury to his body. He's hurt. That's Jared Spurgeon, and yeah, he's. I don't know. It's like a decent car. You can't call him a Ferrari or anything. Maybe closer to a Ford Mustang. I'm not a huge fan of those. I think the people that drive them need to get their head out of somewhere. But that's just me. That's just my personality, the way I look at the world, I guess. Too much attitude, yeah. But no, Spurgeon's not that kind of guy. He's a good guy. So we'll compare him to something a little bit better, like, I don't know. Like my 98 Grand Prix that I once had, there was a time that was a pretty good car. Especially in 98, 99, 2000, blah, 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 2007, whatever. A Grand Prix is a nice, it was a nice car, Pontiac Grand Prix. Not an elite car, not a sports car, but a good car. Maybe that's Jared Spurgeon when he was in his prime, or maybe something a little bit better, like maybe a Corvette. Okay, like a Corvette. But yeah, but then, I don't know, it's like the kind of Corvette, it gets to a point when it gets to a certain amount of miles, like maybe in this case earlier than you'd think a little bit than some other people, other cars, whatever. And it's just like, yeah, okay, it's nice when he's there. It's good. This is good. I love it. Oh, come on. Come on. You have to go to the shop again? Oh, come on. I must have driven like 2,000 miles. I have to go back to the shop again? And I got to pay how much now? Oh, bleep this. That's kind of what Jared Spurgeon's turning into. And what he's been turning into the last few years. That's kind of how I view Jared Spurgeon, unfortunately. Or once upon a time. Believe it or not, Jared Spurgeon was my favorite player on the Minnesota Wild. Dead serious. Those of you that listen to this old show, or to the older versions of this show, because this show goes back to when before Jared Spurgeon was even on the Wild. Think about that. He was already drafted by the Islanders in the 6th round at the time, because he goes way back, when they're like 18, it's many years ago. In his case, him being Spurgeon. But the endless, like, fear. Like, oh, is he going to get hurt again? Is he going to miss time? Like, why? Why do we have to be stuck with this nonsense? Why? Why do we have to be stuck with it? And it's like a car you can't get rid of. You just can't. Sorry. You have to keep it, because you have to keep it for X amount of time until this year. You have to. Sorry, and it's going to take up a spot in your garage, and you only have a certain amount of space to put the cars in. That type of thing. In my case, it's 1, but yeah, that's the life of Joey, unfortunately. 1 spot. Terrific, right? Yeah. But in the Wild, it would be a much larger garage, but still, it's taking up one of the spaces, and there's not much you can do about it. The car doesn't run. It just doesn't. Oh, it feels so good when it does run, though. It's a pretty nice Corvette. It's like from the, I don't know, we'll say it's from the 96. It's a little old. It's older. Maybe it's a 2002. Whatever the heck. Oh, boy. But every time you get behind the wheel, it's something going to happen. Oh, please, Lord. Please, God, no. Please. Oh, no. I don't want to see that check engine light again. Oh, bull crap. There it is again. Oh, this time it's not so bad. Okay, shoot. Yeah, it's not so bad. It's just like a little sensor. Okay, that's good. And it wasn't very expensive by God's grace, or it just needed to be cleaned out or something. I don't know. Something needed to be cleaned. But then next thing you know, here we go again. Sounds like the transmission is acting up. Oh, that's just what we need. Thanks, Jared. Kind of like last year, that would have been like the transmission going out. Great. Just absolutely freaking exquisite. So I think I've belabored the topic a little too much, but at the same time, yeah, the contract and the frustration is belaboring itself. So that's kind of my vibe there. Marcus Johansson is reverting closer to where a lot of us probably expected him. Mediocre to below average, especially for a top 6 guy. And he's a skilled player. He's not somebody you're going to really think about as a 4th liner. But then, I don't know. he wanted to open up to a young guy, and then doggone it, like I talked about the catch-22 with Liam Ogren. So those are the frustrating aspects to the season. Faber's picking up right where he left off. Has he taken a step forward? I'd say a small one so far. Like, he looks better. He looks like a year, older, smarter, more, stronger, this and that. Yep, he's a future captain of this team. At very least, we're going to probably see an alternate captain patch on his jersey very soon. Possibly, somebody gets hurt or something. You're going to probably see it as soon as this year, if not next. But, yeah, it's extremely exciting. Yeah, somebody gets hurt. A certain defenseman gets hurt who happens to wear a C on his chest. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe that... Eventually, we got to start talking about the next captain. I mean, I don't think it's sacrilegious. I don't think it's disrespectful or evil, per se, to think about the possibility of the captaincy going to somebody else, especially if the guy's just simply not available. That's just a fact. You have to look at that. Drew Larson comes to mind. Kaprizov might be coming to mind, believe it or not, yeah. Obviously, somebody else becoming an alternate, and then, like if Kaprizov becomes captain, then there'd be a new alternate, could be Brock Faber, or even Brock Faber becoming a young captain. It's possible, but I think Eck needs to be the next guy with a patch, generally speaking, one way or another. Obviously, if, say, like a Foligno or whatever, like eventually you got to move on from Foligno too, but I don't know when that's going to happen. The other guy who's been out is Ryan Hartman. He was off to a promising start to the season, but he's been out for 5 games. He scored 2 goals in the 4 games he played. I've made my feelings known. I'm not a gigantic fan. I think he's Matt Cook with a better smile. I don't know. That's about it. Maybe I'm an ass. But Matt Cook was a talented player. Ryan Hartman has some talent. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a giant fan of Ryan Hartman. I don't hate him, but I don't love him, put it that way. I didn't even hate Matt Cook. It's just that, I don't know, just like it seems like trouble follows the guy, and it's frustrating. So that's kind of my thoughts leading up through the month of October. So happy month of October. Welcome to November. The Mike Modano Award for October is Kirill the Thrill Kaprizov. The James Shepard Memorial Popcorn Maker goes to the Flower. Does not go to the Flower. It goes to Jared Spurgeon. I don't know. Jared Spurgeon's health. I don't want to be that rude to him. Merrill hasn't killed us, from what I can say. Yeah, I mean, it could be Marcus Johansson for kind of going back into his Casper the Friendly Ghost routine after a strong start. What did he have? Like 3 points, like really, really early, right? We all knew he wasn't going to get 82, that's for sure. 82 points or something. But I don't know. It's a contract year, though. Come on, Marcus Johansson's always good in those contract years. Yeah, well, whatever. I guess Marcus Johansson, Casper the Friendly Ghost, basically, disappearing again.
Join me, Dr. Panico, with Cyndi Lauper and Chef Michelle Bernstein to talk about plaque psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis, the potential connection and risk of developing permanent joint damage.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis 300 milligram dose and adults with active psoriatic arthritis 150 milligram dose. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for TB, serious allergic reactions, severe skin reactions that look like eczema, and an increased risk of infections, some fatal, have occurred. It may lower your ability to fight infections, so tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if IBD symptoms develop or worsen. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com/Cindy.
Your dining room is the heart of your home, where meals are shared and memories are made. At Ashley, you'll find affordable dining furniture in a range of classic and modern styles. Ashley small space sets and extendable tables are designed to fit beautifully into any space, from cozy breakfast nooks and kitchens to formal dining areas fit for a feast. And with mix-and-match seating options, everyone at your table gets the perfect seat. At Ashley, style is served. Shop in-store or online today.
Foligno stayed healthy. That's an accomplishment. Yeah, sorry, I had to say it. I'm sorry. 2 goals, 1 assist, and 3 total points in 9 games. Well, there you go. $4 million. 4 million, 4 years, 4 million per. But at least he stayed healthy and didn't get us killed or didn't get stuck in the box too much. That's one of the main reasons the Wild have been better, as the Wild have been staying out of the penalty box. So that's also a major accomplishment. At the end of the day, Foligno only has 4 penalty minutes. You know what? So without a doubt, the Wild have been better about staying out of the box. That's the number one topic probably for the whole damn, one of the number one reasons why the Wild have actually been successful thus far. So extremely cool, to say the least, is staying out of the box. I mean, I didn't even bring that up, and I apologize. I didn't write that down, and I should have. Like, duh. That's a pretty big thing. Staying out of the damn box. So, huge thing. All right, I passed out the awards, demerit type of thing. Let's come back and look at the prospects instead of previewing games. Maybe I could just stare at the games, but not actually preview them. And we are back here on Brave the Wild, segment number 2. We're going to look at the prospects and such. But first, we're going to talk about DraftKings. The quest for the Stanley Cup starts now. The puck's dropping on the 24-25 season. Get in on all the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. So right now, at least as of the moment, you have the Ducks versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're going to go with the money line. Plus 154 for the Ducks, minus 185 for the Penguins. Blues and Flyers, that's a funny one. At Philadelphia, Philadelphia is a minus 162. St. Louis Blues 136. Probably not the most epic matchup. Connor McDavid's out with an ankle injury, so that sucks. Edmonton at the Nashville, plus 110 for Edmonton, and the hosting Predators are minus 130. Sharks and Blackhawks, yikes. Stars and Florida Panthers could be a preview of the Stanley Cup Finals. Even, at least on the money line. On the puck line, we'll go there since the money line is even. The puck line is minus 265 for the visiting Panthers, and the hosting Dallas Stars are a plus 215. So there are some good ones there. Carolina and Boston, we'll go to that real quick. Money line, plus 154 for the Bruins, and the hosting Hurricanes, minus 185. So if you are new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY for 67369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility eligibility verifies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/ice. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved. So we will look at the prospects briefly here. I'm not going to spend too much time in the second segment, obviously, with previewing and babbling. I'm probably going to cut that out a little bit more and more as this show evolves. The Iowa Wild suck. Terrible start to the season. Awful start to the season. Yes. Damon Hunt has been there for 2 games. He's been up in the NHL and down, up and down. What does he have? Just like 2 games at the NHL level as well. So, I don't know. 1 game, yeah. So, Damon Hunt, it's kind of like, I don't know. Damn it, just put him in the NHL. But of course, certain people say there's too many cars in the garage. I just talked about that, didn't I? Yeah, well, he's got 1 assist in the AHL. Damon Hunt. Carson Lambeau, 6 games, 2 points. Sammy Walker, 8 games, 1 goal, 2 assists. Brendan Gaunce. Rolls right off your tongue. Sudbury, Ontario native, 30 years old. He's your leading scorer. Anything else? Anyone? Michael Milne, nice step forward, actually. Very good skater. He's the 2nd leading scorer in the Iowa Wild. That's probably the biggest positive going into this season with the Iowa Wild. Wow. Well, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points in 8 games. It's not like spectacular, but it's something. Brendan Gaunce, who is the leading scorer on the team, is a -10. Michael Milne, who's the 2nd leading scorer on the team with 1 less point, is a -1. So I think Michael Milne is your... trying to think of who would it be. Jerry Mayhew award winner so far, I think. Jerry Mayhew, yep, he's a famous guy who did so well. One of the biggest quad A players in the history of the Wild organization, probably. Christian Mate, I believe was his name. Was a 100-point player back in the day when they were was that the Cleveland Lumberjacks? Going way back in the day, right? Way back. Travis Boyd, former Gopher, 4 points in 7 games. Hopkins, Minnesota, he's 30. Michael Milne is 21. 21. Michael Milne is one of the youngest players on the team. Hunter Hitz, with 3 goals, leads the team in goals in 8 games. Well, it's better than nothing, right? 1 assist to go with him. He's also a -1. So Hunter Haight and Michael Milne are the most encouraging. Travis Boyd is a -8 at age 30. Devin Shore is a -12. 3 assists as a centre. He's 30 years old, out of Ajax, suburb of Toronto. Kyle Mostas and Carson Lambeau, so each with 2 points, 5 games for Kyle Masters anyway, and 6 games for Carson Lambos. Man, David Spacek, Columbus, Ohio, but of course Czech history. Caden Bankier and David Spacek, both with a point each, 1 point in 8 games. Jack Pert has played in 4 games. Now all these guys are 21. Jack Pert's played in 4 games, nothing. But he's and a -4. Ryan O'Rourke, 8 games, nothing, and a -8. Can I remind anybody listening? Can I say this? Is it okay? Is it disrespectful? Brock Faber was available and the Wild took Ryan O'Rourke. Yeah, Brock Faber was available and the Wild took Ryan O'Rourke. It's okay. We all make mistakes. Samuel Hilav, I'm grossly mispronouncing his name, and I apologize. 3 games, 4.78. Goals against average, save percentage of 77.6. Jesper Wallstedt, 5 games, because we got to have that 3 goalie thing. That doesn't make any damn sense. There's 3 goalies, or he's in Iowa. He's in Iowa, or there's a 3rd goalie. Or what the hell's going on? 4.27 goals against average. He did win a game recently. The Iowa Wild actually won a game 3-2 recently, by the grace of God himself. 86.2 save percentage. All right, well, that's the end of the Iowa Wild as we know it. Wow. I thought they were bad last year. I really did. Pavel Novak and Vladislav Firstov are no longer with the organization. Unfortunately, I believe Novak wanted to move on to play in Europe. Firstov, I don't know. It is what it is. So he's one of those guys. Can't seem to get over the hump. Benoit, all those guys. Pilar was traded a long time ago. Bankier and all these guys are in Iowa. Petrovsky, he's in Czech. He's got 11 games and no points. Yikes. Oops. What did I just do? Screwed up. Royally. Oh, did I screw up? Where'd it go? Oh, that sucks. I don't know what I just did. Honestly, everything just disappeared. That's always great, isn't it? Okay, that wasn't too hard. Just hitting something. Okay, so Reger Lorenz, Denver, national champions and all that cute stuff. 2 assists in 6 games for the Pioneers. Yuck. But I guess I like him a little more. Danila Yurov, ever heard of him? 9 points so far in Metallurg. I believe this is his final season there. Hopefully coming to Russia. He's a defending champ last year. They won it all, baby. 16 games, 9 points, 5 goals, 4 assists in the KHL. Danila Yurov is only 20 years of age, baby. So, very encouraging. Jimmy Clark of the Golden Gophers, off to a spectacular start, and they look pretty good so far too. They look pretty good. Are they going to be better than last year? I hope so. Jimmy Clark, 8 points in 6 games. How about that, Jimmy? All right, Jimmy, let's go, baby. Let's go. 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 assists, pardon me. So, big time start in the Big Ten for Jimmy Clark. Good job. Kalen Parker. Moose Jaw Warriors, they won it all in the WHL last year with Kalen Parker on defense. 42 points last year, 6 points so far. -5, he was a plus 21 last year, but so far 13 games, 1 goal, 5 assists. Aaron Pionk, no relation to the guy in whatever place that's called. Well, maybe he does have relation, but I don't know. Winnipeg Jets, 7 games, 8 assists. Awesome start for him. He had 20 points in 37 games last year for Duluth. This year, 7 games, 8 assists so far. Awesome. So, strong start for Aaron Pionk. Again, a little bit older junior at 21 years of age. Riley Heights. Hello, Riley. Hello, Riley. I'm getting the no response. I just love when that happens. But unfortunately, again, not with Minnesota. And that's kind of how that goes at the end of the day. And there's Anakin Skywalker himself. I don't know, at least that's what his profile looks like. 20 points in 12 games. Yeah. Picking up where he left off. 8 goals, 12 assists. It's a waste of time, damn it. I hate some of these rules. It is what it is because he's not 20 years of age. It's a waste of freaking time. Oh, it's like turned 20 already. March 25th. March 25th. Ah, that's eternity from now. March 20th. Yeah, come on. It's a waste of time having him there. It's like having Joe Mauer Joe Mauer in like single A. Okay, he's batting like 600. Can we move him up now? Jeez. Rasmus Kompalainen rolls right off your tongue, and he's not in the OHL. He is with the Pelicans of SM Liga. 9 points in 15 games, 6 assists, 3 goals, -4. So not in the OHL. Maybe that's a better thing, though, I guess, as long as he doesn't leave the organization. Charlie Stramel. Why am I clapping? He's already more than halfway to his point total of last year. Yep. Michigan State University in his junior year, the 6'3", 215-pound St. Paul native Charlie Stramel. 6 games, 5 points. All right. Was I rooting against him? Of course not. I was just kind of, I don't know, sometimes I have a sarcastic, frustrated nature to think, how can you drop off from only 12 lousy points the year before to 8 the next year and play the same amount of games? In fact, 1 extra game to maybe squeeze in 1 more point. 5 points for Michigan State. There you go, Charlie. That's what I'm talking about. So maybe, just maybe, Charlie has something cooking soon. Big boy, Stevie Leskovar. 6'3", 216 beast. 113 penalty minutes last year. 10 so far this year in 5 games. What else? That's it. Yeah. Well, okay, he's a -3 for the Brampton Steelheads of the Ontario Hockey League. Well, what? I was supposed to say something else? There's nothing else there. I'm sorry. Damn it. Come on, Steve. Oh, well, at least he's big. Yeah, he's big. Chase Woodsky, another goaltender, now 18 years of age from Saskatchewan, of course. The Red Deer Rebels, rolls right off your tongue, WHL, 310 goals against average. He is 5-4 and a save percentage of 90.6, slightly better than last year, but the goals against average slightly worse. Damn it. Sebastian Stoyhani, everybody's like, who now? He's got 1 goal and 8 assists so far for Liga. Last year he had 1 assist in 6 games. This year he's played in 8 already, and he has 1 goal. He's a +3. He's a defenseman in Tampere, Finland. And let's go, baby. Go get him, Stoyhani. It's a good one. I thought I was getting stuck again. Everybody's favorite guy there. Oh, I forgot how to say it. Kiviharo, I think. Aaron Kiviharo, if I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize. 19 games, a lot better than 7. 6 points so far, 3 goals, 3 assists for the left shot defenseman from Denmark playing in Helsinki. What the Helsinki, man? Well, +5 too. So, all right, good, okay. Ryder Ritchie, the skilled scoring forward taken in the draft playing for the Red Hat Tigers. Love that. Medicine Hat Tigers, pardon me. I believe Medicine Hat, that was also our friend, gosh dang it, the poor guy with the 4 ACLs. Ugh, that was an absolute shame, to say the least. Only 1 assist, and he's a -4 in 5 games so far, so unfortunately not off to the red hot start. Mason Shaw, Medicine Hat Tigers, yes. And the big boy, Zeev Buyem, not really necessarily big, medium size, out of San Diego, California, 7 assists so far in 6 games for the national champion. 19 national championships already. Okay, close. It's double digits. 6 games, 7 assists, +4. Zeev Buyem, future Minnesota Wild defenseman in the next few months, hopefully, to, replace somebody. Maybe take one of those cars out of the way with a tow truck. I wish. Nope, it's cemented in the ground for a few more years. God, it's so frustrating. Zeev Buyem, yes, 7 assists in 6 games. With that, we're going to jump into one more conversation with our newest sponsor. That'd be our friends from Game Time. Is there anything better than hearing the puck going along the boards, the puck being slapped around, and you can hear the skates and the excitement of the crowd going to a National Hockey League game? Oh, the memories that last a lifetime, going back to the days of the North Stars, or say the early days of the Minnesota Wild up to today, when you saw guys like Wes Walz flying up the ice, or Kirill the Thrill zipping a pass for a goal, or scoring a goal from a great pass from Mats Zuccarello. There's nothing better than that. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks. That makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. It's such an easy format where you can just pretty much look through. You can go to a game like upcoming against the LA Kings on the 5th of November and see all the different deals, like the Super Deal, lower deck ticket for only $58. It's just amazing deals. And then there's the amazing deal as well, only $29 for some. Absolutely fantastic possibilities. You can go to Timberwolves games. I mean, you can go for hockey tickets on here. You don't have to dig around. It's all in one place. So absolutely convenient, absolutely simple, and it looks good too. It's something that's appealing, and the app moves so smoothly. So my personal experience with this app, Game Time, is fantastic. At the end of the day, the Super Deal, like I was saying, again, that's like the deal of the whole game. You can lower deck tickets for like a reasonable price. It varies from game to game, but it's an awesome deal. Obviously, the different tiers, like the amazing deal and such. Like I said, even go for hockey, Bemidji State hockey, pretty cool. And or you can have your location. You can go to soccer games or whatever else. Timberwolves upcoming games. Maybe you want to go later on. Sacramento Kings coming up late in November. The Super Deal, $97 and such. The great deal, amazing deal, all different ideas. Lower, upper level with the amazing deal, and then other great deals. It's literally called a great deal. So different possibilities. So generally speaking, the different possibilities you can have in here is curated deals to make it easier to find the best price on great seats. The Super Deal, like I was saying, seat views before you buy. You can get the seat view, which is so nice, and the lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection as well. You can get concert tickets here as well if you like to go to those at the end of the day. Game Time Picks curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. All-in pricing. Toggling this feature shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Seat views. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy, so you can really see where you're going to sit. The technology is fantastic. The lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Awesome. Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticket industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code THPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code, spell out THPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? game time. With that, I can just look at some upcoming games rather than really preview going forward. As we head into the month of November, we have Tampa Bay Friday. That's right now, November the 1st. Welcome to November. Toronto, so now you have some home games. Wild survived that road trip very strongly. Unfortunately, the one loss to Philadelphia, but overall pretty nice. Tampa, Toronto, Los Angeles, all home games. Then you head down for the California two-step with San Jose, Anaheim back-to-back. Next Thursday, Friday, and then you head to Chicago, Montreal, Dallas. After 3 days off, Montreal and Dallas. Those may not be super easy. Looks like we have a Black Friday game, obviously, but like I said, Montreal, Dallas, then at St. Louis, at Edmonton, at Calgary, the Alberta two-step. Host the Winnipeg Jets, who are 9-1 so far. Jeez. Buffalo wallowing in mediocrity again, heading there, but the Wild always struggle on Drinksgiving, I guess you can call it. I don't know. I like to have one good strong beer. Usually it's Backwoods Bastard from Founders. Free plug, I guess, for that one. But I get the French toast one because I like the maple syrup. Thanksgiving Day, the 28th, is off. Then Black Friday, the Wild host the Blackhawks at 1 p.m.
Your dining room is the heart of your home, where meals are shared and memories are made. At Ashley, you'll find affordable dining furniture in a range of classic and modern styles. Ashley's small space sets and extendable tables are designed to fit beautifully into any space, from cozy breakfast nooks and kitchens to formal dining areas fit for a feast. And with mix-and-match seating options, everyone at your table gets the perfect seat. At Ashley, style is served. Shop in-store or online today.
Yeah, matinee hockey. Yeah, notice my silence after that. Matinee hockey, especially in the holiday, like a holiday weekend or whatever. Oh, here we go again. Yep, Nashville's not off to a good start either. That's a back-to-back. So hopefully the Wild at least get one win out of those two. And if they win them both, great. We'll see how things go. So there's your month of November up and coming. I will return for sure by the 28th. Maybe there'll be one more show. And if lucky, two more, I guess. Lucky or unlucky in terms of how the cleanups and the weather goes. But the releases will be random until Thanksgiving. Usually after that, it's Thursday, with an occasional thing coming up, quite possibly. With that, take a quick break and a probably pretty short fan interaction segment coming right up. What is the most exciting thing about Black Friday or Cyber Monday? It's about getting an amazing deal you wouldn't normally get, except with Raycon, because with Raycon, you get an amazing deal on premium audio every day of the year. But that doesn't mean they're not having any sales on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Far from it. They're actually doubling down on their amazing value by offering my viewers to Brave the Wild up to 30% site-wide. A Black Friday or Cyber Monday deal you'll appreciate every day. Raycon's Everyday Earbuds. Especially if you haven't checked out their latest model, which includes plenty of new features that make them even more of a must-have for any audio lover. For example, they now feature a 32-hour battery life and multi-point connectivity that lets you pair with two devices at once. Raycon's Everyday Earbuds also come with active noise cancellation. It's a feature that's a must-have for me on those long flights or at work in any type of situation. So definitely a deal like that at work when there's noise everywhere every dang second. But one that can be difficult to find at an accessible price point until now. Because that's the other thing. Although Raycon's quality rivals some of the biggest names in premium audio, Raycons start at just half the price as the other guys, so they're already an incredible deal even before you factor in their Black Friday or Cyber Monday offer up to 30% off site-wide. Incredible. So my personal feelings about Raycons, they are absolutely outstanding. I'm a personal customer, and I already was one even before they became a part of the Hockey Podcast Network. So when I heard they were going to be a part of things here, I was absolutely thrilled. I endorse Raycon 1,000%. Raycon's Everyday Earbuds are also available in a variety of vibrant colors, so you don't have to just have the standard issued white or black earbuds sticking out of your ears. So for me, my favorite color is the blue, but I think the greens are pretty cool too. That'd be a strong second choice. So obviously with Brave the Wild, green definitely is a factor in a big way. Blue, I mean, I just love it. It's a gorgeous color. Now it's the perfect time to scoop them up if you haven't already. And don't worry if you're not as impressed as I am. Raycon offers a 30-day happiness guarantee, so you really can't lose. It's time to save big for the Black Friday/Cyber Monday. Go to buyraycon.com/THPN today to get up to 30% off site-wide. That's right, you'll get up to 30% off everything on Raycon's website when you go to buyraycon.com/THPN. And we are back here on Brave the Wild, segment number 3. There is also an Instagram account. We'll go to the Twitter first because they don't have the Instagram account pulled up, unfortunately. But obviously very happy to have it, and really happy to have Game Time a part of things as well. And Raycon returning, that's one of the reasons why, again, wanted to make absolute sure to get this show out, especially in November rather than October, because, dang it, I want to get Raycon, and I'm a big fan of Raycon. So that's kind of like a double little plug for them, I suppose, because I think their stuff is good. I truly do. So it's BraveTheWild_MN. BraveTheWild_MN is the Instagram. Give that a follow. It could use some love, even though it does have a few followers, but nothing super special in terms of amount. But anybody following is very special, and I appreciate every one of you. So I was saying really early that in the Seattle game, I believe it was, or was it a stupid penalty, I thought. But I apologize to Bogosian. He was saving a goal, kind of like a sure touchdown. The defensive back grabs the guy's arms, and then, okay, pass interference. Well, it is what it is. Just, it is what it is, and take your chances with the penalty, because you're going to lose anyway if the puck went in. So, damn it. Kind of was what it was, and the Wild went into OT and lost to Winnipeg, yes. But generally speaking, the IQ looked like we were picking up where it left off last year. But it seemed right after that, the Wild's IQ just took off. That was one of our actual losses early on. That, the 6-1-2, that was one of the twos. 6-1-2. That sounds familiar, doesn't it, around here? Anyhow, Derek Felska at Crease Assist, the Crease Assist podcast, the host and founder of the Crease Assist podcast. Fantastic job with Teresa Ferries and Kalisha Townsville. Great show, and I'm going to always plug it because they deserve it. Derek, also, again, very kind to this show for quite a while. Yep. Anyhow, we're continuing. He says, my response to calling the Wild dumb. I was saying there are times I think this team is just dumb. Seriously? Derek says they have maybe 3 or 4 really skilled players, and they spend and waste so much time trying to lift up the unskilled ones. Yep. I was saying it's maddening beyond belief. I didn't enjoy any of these 3 games, to be blunt. Yeah, at the start of the season, the games were boring. I thought they were boring, but then things just kind of gradually got better. Derek and Crease Assist a bunch of polls. I probably won't get into all of them, or I could just, maybe really quick. Yeah, I could just read them and then say the result. I'm definitely not going to read the responses because that's for their show, and they read them on their show there. So it's, especially this guy, this car parked in the garage that can't move. So with Spurgeon out with a lower body injury, Eriksson Ek expected to return. Yeah, that was the broken nose deal on Tuesday versus St. Louis. How do you see the Wild doing during the next 6 games of the road trip? 2 wins, 4 losses. Boy, well, and then that one. 6 wins, 0 losses got the least. Well, we didn't get 6 wins, did we? But yeah, definitely promising. Actually, yeah. So we'll continue. Sorry, I'm just going to keep moving. What do you think of the loon call used at the X to notify a penalty has expired? If you don't like it, what sound do you suggest they use in place of anything at all? I like it. Finished in a landslide with 69.2%. Meh, could have been worse, 15.4, and I don't like it, 15.4. I guess I like it. It's not bad. I was saying with no show this week, that was 2 weeks ago? Yeah, and it was a Thursday, so that's why I posted it. With no show this week, because we're still in the lawn service season, I will pass out awards for the week, and I should do that during, weeks where I'm not going to do a show, which isn't very often, hopefully, but this month, yeah. This should be a new regular season thing, even with no show. Mike O'Donnell Award, Philip Gustafson, James Shepard Memorial, Marc Andre Fleury, and I know I was hard on Fleury, which is a mistake. Derek says, even though Fleury wasn't great, I would have given it to Trennan or Foligno. Yeah, I think Trennan, he's been invisible, even though I'm not a big Foligno fan, if people noticed. I'm not. Trennan, I'm not a big fan either so far. I was saying he has a good point. I started regretting it right away, and those names definitely came up. Yeah, awful start for those guys at the time. So, yeah, I was saying I'm probably not alone saying this. I'm absolutely done with Jared Spurgeon. That generated some responses. I was pissed. Derek was posting, I think it's funny, the Wild say he's sitting out so he doesn't have a setback when in fact he's sitting out, when in fact he's sitting out at all is a setback. Yeah. And then he has like a image of a radio host saying, don't try to confuse me with the facts. I was saying exactly. Tom Hayen with the response. And Michelangelo 22 also. Tom Hayen says, some of us were less than pleased with the organization backed up the Brinks. Yeah, when the organization backed up the Brinks truck long term for a smallish blue liner. Only 3 years left on that deal, by the way. Yes, Tom, that's you nailed that one big time. Yeah, I was like I was saying, I had that tug in my throat at the time, like, ooh, I like him, but that's a lot and it's really long. Michelangelo 22 says, totally agree. It's a joke having him as a captain, huge liability, and disappears in the playoffs every single time. Amen. The only time he was good was like at the very beginning. I'm going to follow Michelangelo back. Follow me back if you can. I'd love that. I do like your profile image, by the way, just so you know. Michael, in case you're listening. So, continuing. Okay. Yeah, and Derek says, as you know, it's too late for that. It was foolish to sign a 30-year-old to that long of a deal, yeah. And in classic Minnesota Wild fashion, it has backfired. And if you have to resort to load management and give him a week or more rest to play a few games and repeat, yeah, it's ridiculous. And as an image of a lady saying, and like why? And like don't. Yep. And like why? And like don't. Yep. Okay, where am I going? Yep, it went down. I don't know why it does that. With Marco Rossi as a point per game through the first 6 games of the season, this is another poll from Derek. Have the Minnesota Wild finally found the number one center? I picked yes. That did win by a narrow margin. Second place was maybe not, too soon. Third place, yes, until Yurov arrives. Fourth place, no, 2%, 17% for Yurov. Next one, this one's a little bit funky. Which breakfast cereal fits the Minnesota Wild Club best? If you think it's not a choice offered in the poll, please reply and tell us as a cereal feel. Captain Crunch, Wheaties, Malto-Meal, Fruitios, and Barrios. I picked Malto-Meal. Captain Crunch won that one. That's game moving. Does Marcus Foligno, another poll, do his job as an alternate captain and resident tough guy in the Minnesota Wild roster? Represent, yep. If that isn't his role, what do you think his role is? And tell us in a reply. I just put sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it just feels like he's just kind of there. I don't know. He's just there to scare people, but that's about it. What scares you about the... Okay, that's a different one. Oh, no, this is a response to... It's got the hashtag BTW in there. What scares you about this Minnesota Wild team? I know they just finished a rather successful road trip, but in the spirit of Halloween... What one thing do you fear about the 24-25 club? Reply and tell us. Well, definitely inability to stay healthy for multiple players. I'm always worried about it. Obviously, it seems like Eck gets freak injuries. That's not his fault, but freak injuries are annoying. Inability to stay healthy always seems to be a thing. I'm a little bit worried about Ogren, 7 games and no points, and maybe him getting buried. But I'm happy he's at least getting in the lineup. But there's that. So, yes. Seeing Merrill in the lineup. Yeah, I want to see what Derek was saying. Seeing Merrill in the lineup last night. Like why? Because he makes $2 million and Chris Home makes less? Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. Jay Bushy says, I'm still very scared of the penalty kill. Yep. And thank you for including. That was cool of you, Jay, with the hashtag BTWMN. And then my little poll, though, to wrap things up here and end things. I was saying, what are your thoughts on the endless Fleury retirement tour? Well-deserved legend. Good, no problem with it. Okay, seems a bit much, and I'm tired of it. So it actually all went in a row. Well-deserved legend got 53.3%, which surprises me a little bit. Good, no problem with it. I thought that might win, 28.9, or okay, seems a bit much, 13.3, and for the final place is I'm tired of it, 4.4%. I'm kind of somewhere in between good, no problem with it, and okay, seems a bit much. I'm kind of in there. I wouldn't say I'm tired of it, but if he comes back next year and it's the same thing, I'm tired of it. M.N. Johan, good to hear from you, says, you play that long and that well, he deserves every bit of it. Will it get along as we go further into the season? Probably, like it'll get old, yep. Final couple posts here. It doesn't really bother me. This is Derek. I'd certainly rather see Marc Andre Fleury honored than honoring some of the players this team has in the past. Whether they had a connection to the team, Koivu, Suter, and Parisi, or not, Madano. In my opinion, he's a good teammate. Number 9, 11, and 20, not so much. Yeah. Johan is like, why don't you like Koivu? Da-da-da. And Felska is basically like, what am I missing? He's perplexed why he doesn't like Koivu. Derek's response, which I would say I agree with. I never thought much of him as a player or captain. This is Koivu, of course. I always felt he never stood up for his teammates, and the team did their best chance around his. Yep. Okay, let me start over. I always felt he never stood up for his teammates, and the team did their best to dance around his ego, all while overpaying him time after time, and doing what he did to his wife didn't help either. That last part, I'll admit, I'm claiming ignorance on that one. Maybe a lot of people know, and I'm just in the dark, but I'll claim ignorance. But everything else, I thought he was a bit overrated too, him being Mikko Koivu. So we'll wrap up the show with that. And Madonna, of course, never played here yet, but yet I still put him as the award winner of the week or month or whatever, the Mike Madonna Award, because I ain't giving it to Marian Gaborik. Talk about ego. He's another one. He was very selfish. Seemed like all he cared about was watching replays of his goals, and he couldn't wait to leave. I don't know, whatever. So, as good as Gaborik was and as fun as he was to watch, I didn't like the way he left, and I didn't really. I don't know. I thought he was selfish. So that's another one. I don't think a lot of people disagree with that. Maybe some, especially back at the time. But a lot of people were like, how dare you? Well, I said it. And yeah. With that said, thank you all so very much for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. Huge shout out, obviously, again, the Hockey Podcast Network. Get your DraftKings, Game Time, and get your Raycons. Absolutely wonderful earbuds. So with that said, I wish all of you a wonderful week, 2 or 3 weeks. At very least, at the absolute latest, I'll see you on Thanksgiving, or you'll hear me on Thanksgiving, because I don't do the YouTube thing necessarily, even though it's YouTube, but it's podcast form. It's not video yet. Maybe someday I'll do some video stuff, especially if there's major news or whatever. The Wild are on a huge playoff run, which you never know. Maybe we will be. Never know. But with that said, huge shout-outs again. Minnesota... my brain is just completely stopping. Minnesota Wild Global, Scott Cavendish, yep. David Kostick, Chance Kostick, Kathy Main, Michael Fick, David Abraham, Chad Walski, amazing page. Michael Turner, Minnesota Wild Nation, coming out of Florida, but great job there as well. MNW Young Guns. MNW Young Guns, absolutely love it. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Absolutely awesome. You have Pablo Bennett and Justin Bakke. They do an amazing job there. Obviously love what they do. So with that said, wishing all of you a wonderful few weeks here. Hope you had a happy Halloween, and I hope you have yourself a wonderful month of November. Hopefully drier than it is on Halloween, is or was on Halloween.
Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Your dining room is the heart of your home, where meals are shared and memories are made. At Ashley, you'll find affordable dining furniture in a range of classic and modern styles. Ashley's small space sets and extendable tables are designed to fit beautifully into any space, from cozy breakfast nooks and kitchens to formal dining areas fit for a feast. And with mix-and-match seating options, everyone at your table gets the perfect seat. At Ashley, style is served. Shop in-store or online today.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.